New York, Drag Time Story Hour comes to town. Antifa has its back.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
Crowd's not having it. Fuck you, groomer.
Damn!
I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this is What's Next. Hey, what's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo here, another episode of What's Next, weekend edition, late night weekend edition. Hope you guys are doing well. This shouldn't be any surprise to anybody. You know, we have been doing videos, everyone's been doing videos regarding the whole groomer situation that's been going on for the better part of almost a year now. And of course, ever since one Macho Man Ron DeSavage of Florida dropped the hammer on the groomers, they are persona non grata. They are enemy number one. Now, when you got those on Libs of TikTok flaunting of how wonderful it is to tell little 3-year-olds, little Johnny, little Janie, yeah, come on, Johnny, you know, you like to play with Barbie dolls? Well, it's time to cut off your pee-pee. And Janie, well, I see that you are interested in men's attire and playing with G.I. Joes. Well, we need to cut off your breasts. That's the groomers in a nutshell. And when you have groomers like this running around, and I'm glad that you have those like Matt Walsh, I'm glad you have those others around the country who have said, enough of this fucking shit, not in my house. Well, we go to New York, where Drag Time Story Hour, yes, the infamous Drag Time Story Hour, makes its presence. And of course, Antifa is there to protect its rights. Good gosh. But the crowd of New York says, fuck that. We're not taking it. And here we go. This comes out of the post-millennial. Watch, protesters clash with Antifa at New York City Drag Queen Story Hour. The protest went on for the entire duration of the hour, lasted as police escorted drag performers and attendees off the premises. Drag performers, i.e. groomers. Police had to step in between two groups of people outside a New York City public library that was hosting the Drag Queen Story Hour for children on Saturday, with video footage showing left-wing trans activists and Antifa clashing with protesters. Video captured by NJEG Media shows masked and hooded individuals standing in front of the doors of Andrew Haskell Library for the Blind. Located, yes, for the blind, exactly. That's doesn't that say it all? Location on the 20th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue, blocking the path of protesters. The group protesting the Drag Queen Story Hour appeared to have been led by an individual identified as Juliet Germanata, a quote, you sitting down? Transgender reverend. Let that settle in for a second. All right. Reported the New York City video journalist. Quote, are you transphobic? Are you transphobic? Let me in, Germanata said while pushing back against the mass counter protesters who physically blocked the doors. The post-millennial. Shut it down. Protesters and Antifa clash outside a Drag Queen Story Hour event in New York City. Let's catch a little bit of that beam footage.
Sliding in front of the door.
It's demons! Fucking demons! Drag queen! What? I'm moving back! I'm moving back! Leave the kids alone! Leave the kids alone! Leave the kids alone!
Exactly. Leave the kids alone.
You guys got a strong stick with a can on the end of it?
Take the weapon off him. We've seen his weapon. Why is he still standing there? Because he hasn't used it.
Go get on your knees and pray to Jesus. You need help.
Amen.
What are you
Amen.
doing? Repeating and grooming? Were you molested when you were a child? Are you supporting and condoning
Now, that person is supposedly the transgender reverend. So, take that as you will. Almost immediately, the altercation was interrupted by NYPD officers who jumped in between the two groups. Although several officers were present, they still struggled to keep the scuffles from breaking out. Antifa, the protesters could be heard chanting, "Leave the kids alone." They were also spotted carrying signs and messages, such as "Stop grooming kids for sex," "Stop indoctrination," "God created man and woman." Yes, yes, and amen, yes. This is, quote, transgender Reverend Julia slams far-left supporters. Yeah. When you're going after your own because you see a wrong, there's a lot of wrongs here, but one particular regarding the kids, then I got to give this dude props. Just saying.
Hi, what's up? This is Reverend Julia Germanata, and we're here on 20th Street in Manhattan, over in the Flatiron District. And as you see here, there's some beautiful law enforcement here protecting people that were saying fuck 12, and people that were saying all cops are bastards. And those people standing there, those Antifa members, because there was a drag queen in here for drag story hour, reading to little children about gender, saying it's okay to transition. I'm a transgender. I transitioned at a very young age, which I do regret that part.
While the left-wingers form a human chain to protect the drag performers inside, the protesters held hands and prayed. Protect them. Please let these demons go away into the darkness back where they belong. A woman led the prayer. On multiple points on ongoing protests, police officers had to step in between smaller clusters of individuals as things got heated and shoving matches broke out. Shame, shame, protesters could be heard yelling at the alphabet activists. The protest went on for an entire duration of the hour, lasted as police escorted drag performers and attendees off the premises. They were followed by some protesters who were adamant about continuing their message. First Amendment rights, First Amendment rights. The group could be here shouting. Interesting. Now, this wasn't as a violent clash as, say, the one that happened in Texas, where you had the Blaze's Sarah Gonzalez present there. And of course, she was protesting and she was making her voice heard regarding groomers and little 3 and 5-year-olds. Or, when they had parents at one drag event who were giving their kids dollar bills and they were stuffing it down the tranny's pants. It didn't get to that point. But again, this is not the first time we've seen Antifa bearing arms. I mean, firearms. And why the police just looked the other way? No. Absolutely not. They should have been arrested. They should have had their firearms taken away, and they should have been held. They should have been held in the pokey. But when you have a trans reverend going after them and saying, "Hey, you know what? This is wrong. Going after little kids like this. You guys, you got Antifa there, yada yada yada." But one key point. He said when he transitioned at a young age, of course, now he regrets it. Well, that's something good to come out of this story. But again, it's not the first time that Drag Time Story Hour has hit New York. It's just the latest. But it's everywhere. It's like a cancer. It's everywhere. And it needs to be cut the fuck out. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.